Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. God bless you. My name is Pastor Yemi Omogboyega. Thanks for patronizing my channel. It's time for us to talk again on another topic, which is Kemi Badenoch, an unfortunate reality of our younger generations. Kemi Badenoch, an unfortunate reality of our newer generations. Um, to start with, let me please appreciate you all for the wonderful ways by which you are subscribing to my channel. Within the last 1 month, we've had over 100 subscriptions. I really appreciate you. Those of you who really shared our videos to the extent that people are subscribing. Thank you for the effort. May your labors not go in vain. And I know we are getting there. By the time we get to 1,000 base, we will be able to do um, live shows. And that's my target. I've never taken it seriously before, but I'm okay now. I think we shall get there together. God bless you. I really appreciate. Please go ahead and begin to subscribe. Go ahead and share. At the same time, please press the notification button so that you get to know when we upload new videos. Your comments are vital to all. Those of you who also pass comments, I really appreciate. I'm learning from you. I may not be able to respond to all your comments, but please take it that I am very pleased and I'm encouraged. Even where you correct me, I really take it. I'm very appreciative of it. God bless you. Now, what came from Kemi Badenoch is not does not come to me as a surprise. It does not come to me as a surprise. Yes, we know that Nigeria failed her citizens, and each time I speak, in fact, I think I had a whole chapter devoted to Nigeria in my autobiography, at least for record purposes, at least to encourage others that look, in spite of all these things that your nation is doing for you, particularly African nation, especially Nigeria, it is not enough. I mean, it's not enough to truncate your destiny, that you must be unstoppable. That is why I had to put that there. Nigeria wronged every one of us except the elites and their children. Wronged everybody. The whole chapter that I devoted to Nigeria, apart from the fact that, thank God for late Papa Jeremiah Obafemi Awolowo, who gave us the opportunity to have up to primary 6 certificates. You can imagine what would have become of somebody like me today if God did not make a way for me to go beyond that level by sponsoring myself and praying to God to support me, and He did tremendously. That's why I will remain grateful to this God forever. That's why I'm saying it's a testimony. So, during my early days, I also said it that Nigeria, to me, still remains the same thing. And I struggled to want to get out of the environment I found myself, environment of ignorance that produced poverty, and poverty produces, sadness and sorrow at the end of one's life. Poverty also shortens one's life. Poverty also makes sure that when you are dying, you die in sorrow. But long before you are dead, a lot of troubles will surround you, and then you now suffer, suffer, suffer till your dying day. By the time you are 50, 60, you know that by the time you look at your report card, everything you will see there is regret. I rejected that by taking the bull by the horns from my youth, and God really helped me. I'm not a billionaire today in terms of cash. I don't even have so much in terms of wealth, but at least I'm able to feed myself. I'm able to take care of myself. I'm able to take good care of my children to the best of my ability. They may think it is not enough, but that is the best that I know of. And I did the best I could, my wife and I, as loving parents. And at the end of the day, we're able to wangle our ways out of the um, heritage of poverty, heritage of ignorance, and so on and so forth. So even during the one that pained me most in this matter of education, it's not that the government did not even make secondary school free so that we can go easily. It's not that because my elders, those whom I would have relied upon, who have been wronged too, you know, um, it's not because they didn't send me to secondary school. It's not even because of those who promised to help me to get to secondary school and failed. Or it's not even about the people that, instead of helping me to see the visions I see and encourage me to be educated so that I could be better, so that I can attain what I attain today. No, I'm not angry with them at all. But what Nigeria did to me that annoyed me most was, one, in area of power supply. Number two, it is in area of the fact that, no matter what you lay your hands upon, Nigeria kills it by one policy or the other. So, in all, and this too has been very consistent. Whether you are in business world, Nigeria will kill you because of power failure, and at the same time, they will make policies that will destroy that business. So you can now see. Now, the issue of I was angry with Nigeria, but after all said and done, I looked at it and I said, I resolved in my heart, throwing away the baby with the bathwater is not the answer. Coming back to denigrate Nigeria's name is not the answer, because I cannot choose another country as my country. I remain a Nigerian and Nigerian forever. And even if I'll go to other countries, it will be for purpose of holiday. Now that at least I'm old enough not to be looking for greener pasture anymore. And it is not that. It is not for me to come and say Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that, because I have that understanding that Nigeria is like a young baby that is growing at its own pace, and that one day we shall get there. And my resolve is that whether by way of utterances or by way of behavior, societal behavior, or by way of wherever I am, I will still continue to portray Nigeria as a nation that is in the offing. I know that we haven't got there at all. Is it the roads? There was a time about 10 years ago. I was going for my son's wedding, and I left a day before. On the day of the engagement, I left on the day before. And I was coming to Lagos. At Ife, after Ife Junction, I ran into a ditch. I mean, a pothole that was big enough, and that was the I don't know what they call it now. The arm, the right hand arm of my vehicle, which was the part of the chassis, got damaged, bent. I only managed to drive that vehicle to Ibadan, and I was heading to Lagos. By the time I got to the quarry along Ibadan Expressway, I could no longer continue with the journey. That journey was frustrated. I couldn't attend my son's court registry and so on. Thank God I had to choose somebody to represent me. That's part of what Nigeria did to me. This is a road that was constructed, has been under construction for the past 40 years or so. Successive administrations never completed it. Thank God that today it is completed during the terms of Buhari and Tinubu. So thank God that that side is completed. But the one between Ibadan to Ekiti now is still the same thing. So is it all those ones I would count, or is it the fear on the road when I'm going to anywhere, or is it the fact that the estate where I lived or where I reside whenever I come to Lagos, there was a time, you know, somebody in broad daylight was kidnapped. The panic alone, this person so nice, so wonderful, and she was kidnapped. Thank God, she did not lose her life, but her aide lost his life. Unfortunately, he did not know how to react to those people. He behaved funny, and the people gunned him down. A whole life was lost there. That's part of That's part of it. Is it the uncertainties? So they are all there. But I've resolved. I have no other country. Mine is to continue to build to the best of my ability. I will never do anything that will tarnish the image of my country. Neither will I say something that would denigrate the name of my country. It looks stupid, but life is more than butter and bread. It's just like a father saying he's disowning his child. You can dissociate yourself from the uh, habits, negative habits that your children are exhibiting, but you cannot remove the blood, the fact that it is your blood that is in their veins. You can't. So you cannot disown, in the real sense of it, you cannot disown your own child. So, but now my own resolve is that Nigeria is my home, and anywhere I go, if I have any capacity to influence it for the better, I will do. Now, coming to the younger generation, which Badenoch belongs to, you see, the it is not from what Kemi Badenoch has just said. If it was her father or mother that offended her, or if she had created an impression, negative impression about her parents. Sorry, the background is becoming darker and darker because there's no light. We just have to go ahead. So if it were the parents that, you know, did anything that annoyed this girl will say she disowned her parents. She will disown her parents because the life that our younger generations wants to live is a life of tit for tat in the first place. And that's what she's exhibiting. Tit for tat. And it doesn't even matter if everything had been favorable. They are just like people that are seeking luxury. Luxury. If not, if there's no luxury, they disregard whosoever is on their way. That's the kind of thing. So one is not surprised that she's disowning Nigeria. I thought, honestly speaking, now that she's risen to this very important position in the UK life, I think what she should have done would have been to help us to put policies in place, especially when it is the chance of the Conservatives to get into power or something. All right? Not even in opposition. Even at this level, I thought that she would be doing something that will help us to expose all these our elites who are killing and maiming and destroying our lives and compromising our destinies. She should have been outspoken in that you saw the problem. Mine is not for you to identify problem and begin to orchestrate problem. It is for you to look for solution. In my life, if I want to criticize you, as I'm criticizing you, I'm putting the solution before you that I believe will work for you. That's how things work. Now that she's in that position, she's a very highly position of influence. It is the high position to help us to fish out, to smoke out all these our wicked leaders and make it impossible for them. And then even work towards all our monies that were repatriated and that were uh, siphoned into that place to return them to the base so that you help to contribute. Now, what if Okonjo Iweala has done what Badenoch did? What if, who else there? As many of them that are in vantage position, Femi Adesina, what if he behaves the same way? Then who will be left to salvage this country? We cannot be blaming and blaming and blaming. When we have the opportunity to do something, then we are still blaming instead of acting. This is where what this lady did is an unfortunate reality of these our younger generations. Look, in my early days, in fact, up to my generation, the generations that are 10 years after me, they are different. They are different. Number one, in family ties, they are not interested. And our parents got glued together till their dying day. They never left one another until death separated them. In these days, for you to even get your your relatives to relate the way our parents did, they will never. One, they are afraid of they fear what is not there. Number two, they are also afraid that pressures from the family. What I always say to the pressures of the family is that I can only do the best I can. If I don't have the capacity, I will tell the person. But this our younger generation does not. They don't even want to see anything. I was and this matter too is not their fault because it's not completely their fault. It is because of the position that our own generation, placed our children. Because we made our children to realize that okay, if you have some children, you don't want even the larger family to know to relate with them. You don't want them to be related. We hide our children to the point that they develop detachment from us to us. They don't want to relate with us again. You know, they see larger family as a burden. And we encourage them by not encouraging them to interact with the family in their youth. And when they grow up, Bible says, train your children the way they will go, so that when they grow up, they will not depart from it. What we train them to be is what they are to us today. And not only will they detach themselves from larger family, they will detach themselves even from us. It is what we did. What we sow is what we are reaping. And it's what Badenoch has done at the national level now. Disowning your country, even if she would rather have been keeping quiet. Not that you come and rubbish your country, a country that has rubbished itself. Yes, what she said may be true, but what is the solution? What is the solution? Offer solution. Actually, do collaborate with people like Okonjo Iweala. We are in the UK now, we are in the US. Those of you who are in those powers, connect together and help us to deal with all these wicked ones here. It is still their time. I know they will fade out. But until we make concerted effort, we cannot stay about and be crying. Nigeria is not good, Nigeria is not good, without contributing anything to it. So, what we are experiencing, it is simply because we, the parents, you know, like I said now, what pride does the parents have? The parents have not disowned Nigeria. She is bluntly disowning Nigeria. What pride does that have? Because we say Oma Jebota. This is an opportunistic behavior. You just if it is not rosy, you are not there. Why not be part of what will make it rosy? Why not sacrifice something to make your country rosy? Especially when God has now taken. They don't forgive this generation. They don't forgive. They don't overlook. If it doesn't please them, they throw everything away. You are able to identify with other people's country. People built that country. Britain colonized US for over 200 years. They colonized up to the Middle East. They colonized Nigeria. They colonized everything. All right? People suffered under them. How many of our people died under them in sugarcane farms? How many of them? After that, now we are now trying to regain our nature of human being, and we are still. So what is happening is a passing phase. I know that a generation will come that the children of Badenoch will be proud that they have their roots from Nigeria. Yes, she married an Oyinbo. A time will come and say from that generation, how can you just throw yourself like that? That's an ingrate. She's ungrateful even to her own parents. It's unfortunate. So, though it's a lesson to us, those of us who are hiding our children, come about on come about on running, because so that you are hiding your children so that they won't relate with your larger relatives. That is what you are seeing now at national level. Those of you think that, so that they won't trouble your children, so they won't trouble your children. Trouble what? So it is left for us to continue to behave the way we are. That's why I've always advocated have few number of children. Because these children themselves, give them your soul, give them your life. Some of them will not look back to take care of you in your old age. It is the truth. They will fight you to your face. And they will sit you down and ask you questions as to why you didn't take them up to higher level. If they don't mind whether you steal, that's why children, the fathers of politicians, like somebody like Ayabelo want to maintain whatever by paying for 10 years education, whatever, so that by the time the children, he wants to satisfy the children, doesn't want them to suffer. This is what we are going through. Compare such children with somebody like us who had to with primary 6. Get to university level at our own expense and with God's support. So these children, hey, the lesson for us parents is that let us make sure that we integrate our children with our larger families when they are still young. If not, at the family level, you will face what Badenoch has done. At the national level, you will face what the Badenoch has done. I think I've offered something. It is left for us. A word is enough for the wise. God bless you. Once again, my name is Pastor Yemi Omoboyega. Please remember to subscribe and share. Share this also as you shared the ones that people are subscribing to. God bless you. Have a very wonderful time.